Hello everybody, Thomas Runner here and welcome back to yet another video on this channel. Today we are here, as you can see, for round number 6 around Brazil WOR. In a second you'll see the standings on your screen. Of course, haven't done any races. It's actually my second race of the championship, so to be in a championship fight is going to be very, very hard. You never know what can happen, obviously. Still a long way into the championship, so who knows what can happen. As we are at the moment, as you can see, P14 in Q2, so it's not been a good start at all. I believe I also had a party because of my granddad, the 50th year marriage. It's been a very fun one to be experience that. 50-year marriage is very special, so had a lot of fun with my family. But anyway, focusing now on Q1, heading towards turn number 1. Not very confident, using absolutely 0 words on the exit. So it's been a pretty bad start so far. 778 per sector is not ideal at all. But we need to do improvements in the second sector. Still a lot of time to find, of course, in the rest of the lap. Throwing the car into the apex, doing that very nicely, and then slowing the car down for turn number 6 or 7, and then into this very long left-hander. Need to hug the apex and then get on the power as hard as you can, and then in this hairpin, sort of drifting through this corner. Did it a bit too aggressively that time around. But nonetheless, it's been a pretty good second sector. But we go too deep into the last corner, and yeah, you can hear my reaction. Not happy at all with how the lap went. See, nonetheless, a 10.5 up, and that should be enough to put us through into the next part of qualifying, and it is 107.346. So not bad, certainly not good enough. If you want to fight for pole position at the end of Q3. You can see straight away, moving on to my last lap of Q2, because my first 2 laps, I prefer not to speak, they were absolutely horrendous. But yeah, it's going to be quite tough to get through to Q3. Need to get a good lap in if you want to, be competitive in Q3 and even be in Q3. You can see though, this time around we do get a pretty good turn 1 and turn 2. And definitely going to be a lot more up than I was at the end of Q1. You can see a 0.694 first sector, which is a lot better. Certainly a 0.6 first is very promising as we're heading towards the second part of this lap now. Throwing the car in once again, nailing this right-hander, and then throwing the car in once again, sort of drifting yourself through the apexes here, and getting on the power again very, very hard as we are 1.2 turns up now, getting the car slowed down very nicely. Not getting a great exit, so we lost a bit of time there as we do a 0.446 splits. This time around though, you can see getting to the apex a lot better, and we are a 10.5 up compared to our first run, and we are only P13, so it's gonna be close if we are gonna make it or not. But you can see across the line we go, it's gonna be a 107.133 that one. As you can hear me say in Dutch, I am very bad today. It's a translation of that. Once again, moving on towards Q3, and again towards our last lap, because the first lap was again not good. Invalidated my first run, but it's all gonna matter for this last run. The last run is always gonna be the quickest one of the whole qualifying, so we need to absolutely nail this lap if we want to fight for pole position into turn 1, third gear, hucking in the apexes, left and then the right, and throwing the car in on the exit. You can see how much time I lost on my bunker lap. I think I completely backed off. Okay. So the delta is kind of irrelevant at this point. You can see a 7.04 first, not good if we want to be fighting for pole position. So the first sector has not been amazing. You can see Jan Otmer getting out of the way. I believe he's still on an outlap, so he's trying to go very last minute, and he's certainly a guy to be fighting for pole position today. And then in towards the second part of second sector, throwing the car in and getting the rotation very nicely, getting on the power early, and then minimizing the distance on the left here as we do a 0.269 split, which is very good. I didn't expect that actually, and I thought it was gonna be like a 107.0 mid, but you'll see across the line in a second. I was looking at the delta, I'm like, wait, this could be a very good lap, and as I go across the line, a 106.922. And I thought that was enough for pole position, as I thought there was only a few people left across the line. But as you can see, just in the split second, Philip Resnader gets P1, and we are starting in P2. So, moving on to the race, I was still deciding last sec, as you can see, starting on the hards instead of the softs. Was that the correct decision in the end? Well, maybe if there were no safety cars, I would say. Actually, as I kind of jinxed it already, gonna be a lot of chaos in this race as we are getting underway already, getting a good start as we have a half look on the inside of Philip, but starting to back off in towards turn number 2. You can see though, pushing Philip through this left-hander, and Philip is using a bit to stay ahead because he didn't want to get overtaken by me. So it's been a good start so far. Pace already straight off the bat looks really good. Still pushing Philip Resnader along in this first part of the lap. You can see Philip, I don't know if he's practiced or not, but he certainly was struggling at the start of this race. As we can see, Jarno absolutely sent it off Shanaka Clay as they are going side by side. Jarno me on softs, Shanaka Clay on hards. It's going to be nearly impossible for Shanaka Clay to defend, so he lets Jarno through as we already nearly complete the first lap of this race. Only 2 turns back of Philip Resnader, and not getting a great exit, and Jarno is already gonna go and have a look in towards turn number 1. He's gonna use his battery up this straight to have a half look up the inside. You can see he's only 3 turns back, but because of the grip he has, he absolutely sends it up the inside. I give him the room on both turn 1 and number 2, and I decide to let him go for now. No point fighting it as he's on softs. In the end, I probably should have overtaken Philip because the safety car is out, so definitely not ideal. Especially not knowing there was going to be a safety car, of course. Could have definitely overtaken Philip there if I knew the safety car was going to be there, but just unlucky timing with the safety car. As we skip on at the end of this lap, we're going to be peeling into the pit lane as I don't want to be on the shitty hard tyres. I'm not going to be the only one boxing. Gonna be a few other people boxing with me, including you'll see in just a second Zanna van Dijken and Duncan Offland. I believe also Jay Benham, and I don't know who the second rep actually is. I'm gonna be peeling into the pit lane. I believe that might be, I don't know if that's Shanaka, if he had a spin or not, or it's a another person. Anyways, 4 people in the pit lane with me. So including me, that's 5. P14 right now on new mediums, and you know it's only a 2-lap tyre difference compared to the rest of the field, but 2 laps can make a difference, and especially knowing right now I can do mediums and then another set of mediums for the end of this race if there's again no safety cars. Gonna be a lot of fun to fight ourselves throughout the field. And need to make moves very quickly if we want to have even a chance for the victory here. You can see waiting, and now we're going. You can see Zander van Dijken not getting a good start. Straight away, I'm gonna go for the attack in towards turn number 1. Zander van Dijken knows it, and he lets me go into turn 1. And cold tires still. So you can see I'm struggling a tiny bit to get them up to temperature. Just the first corner though, but now they're completely fine up to temperature. It's just the first, I don't know why, even if they're up to temperature in terms of Celsius. Tires still don't feel great on the first corner or 2, but then the tires very much come alive in the second part of the lap. You can see guys ahead are still on softs, and they are still pretty good. So it's going to be tough to get past them, but if they have the tire drop off in a lap or 2, it's gonna be a fun one for us. You can see, need to slow down a lot in this hairpin to have a good exit on towards the last sector now of lap number 5. It's only been 5 laps so far, and it's been a very fun one. Now you can see everybody is blasting the batteries because everybody wants to make some moves. You can see I'm absolutely draining my battery because I want to have a shot for the victory, and as you can see, Luke Smith closing the door last second there. I didn't expect that, so I was a bit pissed off. You can see Ismail Fassi spins round, unfortunately for him, due to an incident with I believe his teammate, and I don't know who made it 3 wide. I believe they were 3 wide into turn number 1, and that of course isn't good. Up to P11 though, straight away, overtaking Kai Peterson. Jan Oltmers though is still leading the way on these soft tyres, and he's gapped the guys in P2. You can see I send it up the inside. Luke Smith, fair enough, gives the space to us, but we just have a tiny bit more grip on the outside. But Luke Smith, very good driving, very good defending. Keeps it up the side by side now into this left-hander. You can see I'm definitely not going to give this one up, and I try to go around the outside here, giving him just enough room, and round the outside we go now. And fair enough, Luke, good battle. Certainly one of the good ones in this race, and we need to defend though, because I don't want the guys behind Luke Smith to overtake me straight away, as I want to save my battery for the next laps, because I want to overtake as many cars as possible. You can see on the limit in terms of the track limit to turn 1, Reece Linton up ahead on hard tyres. He's going to try and go long in this first stint and have a very good second part of this race, but because we pitted, the likes of, you know, Reece are sort of on the same strategy as us, but he's on the harder tyre because he needs to, you know, have 2 tyres to be racing on in this race, of course. Ruben Pedreño though, you can see, I got a bit confused there because Ruben lagged, and then I don't know what happened there, but he just completely disappeared and just went into the wall. I got a bit got a bit confused. I'm laughing right now because it's pretty funny when I looking back. It's actually been the first time I looked it back, and unlucky Ruben. I don't know what happened there, to be honest. I think it's desync. On his screen, I'm not sure, but I believe I touched him into the pit lane, as you can see. I think so, in the pit lane, nearly hit Reece Linton. He's gonna pit for a new set of tyres. As I said with Ruben Pedreño, I think I hit him on his screen in the second sector, but yeah, of course on my screen, as you can see, I didn't do anything wrong. I put soft tyres on. I don't know if I should have gone mediums or softs, but I think in the end softs were the right decision because I only had 1 medium left at this point, and I wanted to save the medium for the last stint ideally, because they are a very good race tyre. And you can see discussing the strategy with my engineers in this race. You can see moving on to the end of that line, nearly hitting the back of Reece Linton. And didn't expect this actually. You'll see in a second, the guys ahead went very early. I didn't expect it. I think the guy behind also didn't expect it. So the gap is 6 tenths ahead and behind. So we're going to be absolutely not using our battery on this first straight. Save the battery for, you know, the coming overtakes in towards turn number 1. Straight away, tyres feel very good, and we're gonna try and close the gap to Chana Kinchi P12. He's pitting for all the hard tyres, and he's gonna try and go to the end of this race, including Jan Oltmer on the hard tyres. It's gonna be very hard for them to make this work if they wanna go to the very end of this race. Straight away though, I'm on the soft tyres, and I am gonna send it up the inside. Chana Kinchi expected coming, and he just completely leaves the door open for me. And up to P12 straight away we go. up ahead we have Reece Linton, Patrick, Philip and Alvaro all on medium tyres, so we need to get past them straight away because we are on the soft tyres, and they are, as you can see, 2 purple sectors, and they were actually 2 purple sectors. Absolutely flying right now. We need to get past them as soon as possible if we want to have a fight and a chance for the victory today, because right now we need to make move quickly, and I've said this many times now, but especially in this phase of the race, if we are going to just stay behind, it's going to be nearly impossible to get past them. You can see up ahead Patrick and Philip are trying to defend from me. Not sure why, because they are on medium tyres and I'm on soft tyres. They are going to try and battle it out. Patrick though needs to leave me go now, and up to P10. Up ahead Philip Fresnader and Alvaro Caraton. I'm gonna absolutely send it down the inside, making contact. Decided to let Philip go because that wasn't a good move from me. But then through here, I have a half look on the inside. I thought Philip was gonna let me through.
Down to that, man.
Getting a bit frustrated.
Zo dom die gasten, het is ongelooflijk.
Of course, getting a bit frustrated at the time. Patrick absolutely runs me on the road, and yeah. The first incident that happened was my fault. I got actually a 3-second time penalty for that little incident. But now I need to make the overtake on Patrick. He defends once again very aggressively in towards turn number 1. He's not gonna let me go very easily. If he's gonna fight that hard, then I'm gonna fight that hard back, because I'm on a softer tyre than him, and I need to get past now. Simple as that. Up to P9 now, finally overtaking all the cars that were very crucial. And then I believe we're gonna skip on a lap, exactly a lap to the same spot again. To Alvaro, Jarno, Daniel and Ben Sabacogni. A lot of chaos ahead, and Ben Sabacogni gets tagged round by Daniel Kjelsen. And Patrick Siepels once again having a look.
Die zit het niet meer, grap.
And once again getting frustrated because I thought he wasn't gonna be there anymore, but he was, and just unlucky at the time. Once again, gonna go for the move into turn 1. Alvaro and Daniel Kjelsen up ahead. Gonna be tight to get past them, as I didn't want to completely drain my battery. Luckily for me, Daniel Kjelsen let me go into turn number 1 without me having to use any battery, so that was a very effective overtake. Up next, Alvaro Caraton. Using battery a tiny bit there, as you can see, but then he was using a bit as well. Very smart from him. My tyres are finally starting to degrade a little bit compared to these medium runners, so I need to look out now for the guys behind, excuse me. And yeah, moving on to the end of the lap. Alvaro and Jarno had a little scrap in the second sector, and they are gonna be blasting the batteries on this straight right now. You can see the whole field is still very close to each other, so it's been a very, you know, competitive race so far. Completely draining my battery, 335 kph up the straight, and into turn 1 we go. Having a look round the other side, but then I saw the gap was 1.5 seconds to behind, so I tried to back off, but I couldn't. And now I need to use my battery to get past Alvaro, as I didn't want to, you know, lose any time behind these guys. Duncan Upland though sends it up the inside of Shanaka Clay. I only have 15% battery left at this point, so it's going to be very, very hard to overtake all these guys. Nonetheless, Shanaka Clay need to get a move on it if I want to have an overtake on Duncan Upland here. You can see into this left-hander they make contact, and another bit of contact. I hear Shanaka's rears making contact with Duncan as well, as Duncan, fair enough, goes round the other side of me actually. I'm not going to give this one up easily though, as Duncan knows. Gonna stick it round the inside, brake a bit late, leave the room on the inside, probably left a bit too much room, but nonetheless, up to P5 we go, and I knew Duncan didn't have any battery left, and as I tried to kind of box Alvaro in, because I knew he had more battery than me, and I didn't want him to overtake me, so we brake late into turn number 1, making sure Duncan couldn't get a run into this corner, turn number 2. and up to P5 now. Still, not even the halfway point of this race, and it's been, you know, a very chaotic one. A lot of strategies involved in this one, and I thought I had damage, as you can see, I can hear me say in Dutch. Moving on to lap 18, Alfie, Jake, and Shanaka up ahead. You can see Jan Altmere still leading the way, and still gaps up in front. Jake Benham though is gonna let Shanaka play through in towards turn number 4, not trying to battle as hard as the Mercedes driver. Jake Benham sort of holds us up here, and it's not ideal for our progress, so I lift a bit to save a bit on my ERS. But I need to make moves now, because Jake is on the same strategy as me, and if I get ahead of him, it potentially gets Shanaka and Alfie as well. Before he gets Shanaka and Alfie, then I might have a chance to gap him and break the DRS. As you can see, Alfie inside and into the top 4 now, with 18 laps to go in this race. Lap 18 out of 36, exactly halfway into this race now, and still a lot of things are about to happen. You can see Shanaka Clay up ahead, and then Alfie Butcher and the Jan Altmere in P1. Jake Burnham is going to peel into the pit lane, so he's going to try to do an undercut on us, which is fair enough. Multiple guys pitted a few laps ago with him. Nonetheless, lap 19, Shanaka Clay knew if I use my battery, there's been no chance of him defending, and Alfie Butcher also knows I'm on soft tires, and at this moment they are still quicker than the hard tires. So they decided to let me go in towards turn number 2. 2.5 seconds is the gap to Jan Altmere, and we are actually going to be pitting at the end of this lap, so we need a good in lap. And yeah, let's see if we can have a shot at even possibly gaining on Jan. You can see not getting a good exit, but still managing to gain a bit of time there. Not going to expect to gain much in this lap, but you know, even 1,000 or 100 could be, you know, crucial to get ahead of those guys who have just pitted. I don't know how many cars I need to overtake in that train. You can see they've just entered sector 2, and we are gonna nearly enter sector 3 already. Gap now 2.2 to Jan Altmere, so we did gain a 10th or so in this lap so far, so that pace is definitely very good. And yeah, discuss my engineers if I wanted to pit or not, and we are actually gonna pit this lap, as I said at the beginning of this lap as well. Not many risks into the pit lane, and been a good second stint of this race, or first stint, depends on the way you look at it, to be honest. Putting the medium tyres on, and 15 laps to go, or 16 laps actually, and this last stint gonna be a sprint towards the end. And you can see the gap to that green dot in the second sector, that's Jan Altmere, and he is gonna go to the end of this race, so we need to close a gigantic gap if we want to have a chance of the victory here today. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, no sorry, 6 guys actually did an undercut on us, but they are on much more mediums than we are. You can see though, gonna go for the move on Navarro Caraton in towards turn number 1, as we set the fastest lap, the lap before it, and doing a purple final sector. Actually going, I looked back, I think I went quicker than my Q3 last run, purely because we burned so much battery and had the ERS as well, and slipstream. Moving to lap 24 now, Ismail Fatsi gonna be very aggressive as well, because he wants to get some moves as well in towards the first corner now. Ismail Fatsi defends very smartly and close the door on us, and he's not going to make it easy for us. Nonetheless, Ismail Fatsi sends it up the inside of Luke Smith. Luke Smith though, it's not going to make it easy, as we for some reason get contact here, and I believe Ismail Fatsi had an overtake moment, and Luke Smith had to take a void in the action there. Getting pushed off a tiny bit by Luke Smith, so I need to completely drain my battery if I want to get past him, so that has certainly not been ideal. in terms of efficiency from my battery. Also knowing Patrick Cheapos and Jake Benham are the drivers ahead that we need to work together with. Unfortunately though, moving on to the last lap, it stayed like this for 11 laps, like nothing happened. We had a few scraps here and there, but no overtakes happened, and it's just gonna be a sprint towards the end. You can see though, Jan Altmaier nearly caught him in the end of this race. If there was one more lap, we would have probably had a chance of getting P2 and maybe even P1 in this race. Nonetheless, you can see closing the gap on Jake Benham and Ismail Fassi, going a bit wide, using my battery on towards the last straight. Can we get a possible podium? It's going to be very close. Ismail Fassi up ahead is pressure. We're not going to get Jake, but can we get Ismail Fassi across the line? And by 7 thousandths of a second, we get Ismail Fassi and get P3. So that was very, very close. Managing to get the victory in the end. These were the results in the end. Jan Altmaier and Jake Benham getting a 1-2 for Merck. Myself in P3, Isma P4, Shanaka Clay P5, and then you can see the rest as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.